your potential is limitless. And you are here today because you were chosen. Okay, you will truly be the leaders that we want.
I expect to be more responsible as what the theme says, and I expect to be more aware of what happens in the internet and to be of help to the youth.
You may tweet, Facebook, share.
For this event, I expect that we would learn further about cyberbullying because cyberbullying has been a very great issue not only to different schools but also to our school, to Ateneo, because usually people would use their phones after classes, or it is very convenient for them to use these phones, and it has been a passageway of bullying, so hopefully we would learn from it and hopefully share it to our fellow Ateneans.
A year and a half ago, I was invited together with some doctors to become a member of the scientific committee. We wanted to prepare something to help protect the child. And we were looking and we were asking, how do we best protect a child for this generation? And so we discovered that the child today is not threatened very much by the physical environment. The threats are still there. But suddenly there is now a new player, a new environment that threatens the child. And it's the cyber environment. And so we decided that what could adults do? The decision was to design a conference that will bring about adults so that they could talk about, hey, how do we protect young people and children from the challenges, especially the abuses that's happening in the cyber world. The problem of cyberbullying, before we thought it was a problem that had a status thing. Those who could afford PC, tablet, it's gonna be their problem. But right now, social media is in the telephone. Anyone can afford a telephone. You have bundles of packages that you could actually use Facebook or social media. And so we decided to do that. So we didn't want the young people, just be a bystander. We wanted them to be active. We want them to write the letters, design the manuals, design the backstage. We want them to deliver the letters, answer the phone calls. It is your conference. And so, nakita nila talaga that they would own the conference, but most especially, they would own what happens after the conference. We want them to think of sustaining the change of behavior that's going to happen. That is why the challenge here is you have to go back to your schools. You have to bring it back. You have to become digital advocates.
We can shape a policy.
When you're being bullied, especially, you feel like you're so deteriorated. But for a person who bullies you, it's like they feel that they're the superior ones, and it's like you're mocking someone in order for you to be someone superior. That's how I define bullying. Cyberbullying is like another way of bullying in social media, but somehow it's more offensive because it strikes you emotionally.
So what comes into my mind is basically that there are two persons involved or even more. One, the first one would be the bully. And what he does is basically he diminishes the social status of the said person with the second person, which is the victim. What usually happens is the first person is usually jealous or angry that you're much more inclined to the attention of the other people, and that results to them putting you down or basically diminishing your status so that in turn they would be the ones who gets the attention of the others. And basically in cyberbullying, it happens in social media. The difference is that there's really no difference. It still happens and people get hurt, people feel happy about it, people feel sad about it.
When young people and even adults abuse their freedom of expression, chances are they are already violating another person's human right.
Okay, the effect, because it was mentioned that there's humiliation. So again, there could be usually sadness and even depression, suicidal ideation, and sometimes really it leads to an attempt and sometimes really death. No, I think there have been reports. Other effects are they don't want to go to school. They're scared, no? because most likely the one cyberbullying them is also in school. So it could affect academic accomplishments, no? So in their school performance, they don't want to go to school. Depression also can lead to lack of concentration, and so they're not able to perform as well. It can affect physical health because they don't want to eat or to sleep, and so health problems can also come about. But it's not only the victim which have these adverse effects, but also what we call the bully victims. No? So these are the people who may start out as victims and then they want to lash out. Because it's easy, because it's technology. They don't have to develop big muscles to get back at the bully. They can use technology to do that, so it's easy. No? So you can start as a victim, you become very vengeful, and then they become also the bully. And it seems that in terms of psychological impact, these are the people who are even more troubled than just the pure victims, or even the purely bully.
As far as social media landscape is concerned, the more we proceed, then chances are mobile penetration rate will also increase. So definitely we are social right now, but we are also going mobile. Both the strength is also the weakness. The advantage is also the disadvantage. For instance, empowerment. So we can join the government and any institution in shaping policy. But in the same manner that empowerment can encroach into somebody else's right, like using my freedom to express my opinion can encroach to somebody else's right to privacy. In the same manner, so if we use this for value-adding purposes, we are creative, we empower ourselves, then young people right now can position themselves for a better career several years from now.
My favorite and most memorable part of today's activity was the forum, because we got the chance to ask experts and those guys who are experienced with countering cyberbullying. We got the chance to ask them what to do, what are the do's and don'ts when it comes to the cyber world, and then we also got the chance to help other people who are cyberbullied.
What I'm most intrigued of are the cyber abuses, and then also the videos that were shown a while ago, the songs, the inspiring songs of Maria Aragon. I would change my privacy settings because I notice in my Facebook sometimes it goes public, my post, and I'm afraid that I might be one of the victims, and I'm really sensitive and I'm really scared. And also I would want to help other people who are cyberbullied and being hurt, and then I don't want them to feel that way, so that's what I want to do.
It gave me insights on to what limit I can express myself and express my opinions. I plan to, first of all, start with myself, private settings, all the things, but we have a group chat with all of my classmates, so I'll start telling them about what I've learned here, and so that it will spread to their friends and to their friends that they know of.
It really taught me that, okay, I'm going to check my privacy settings, I'm going to see my audience, I am going to just be more aware of everything and not just blab, and that's my favorite part. I think social media is not all bad. It should be also used like awareness, and that's why Mr. Santos says that what is the purpose of your having a social media? And I really love that, and I hope that these young people, including myself and teachers, learn something from it.
We should teach our adolescents to, number one is to document the bullying. The second is, if it's minor, ignore it. But if it's major and life-threatening, to report it to an adult. Right? They can also cut off the bully by changing numbers or blocking them from the settings in privacy. And even higher tech blocking will be reporting to the ISP. So I think the adolescents should know this.
Number one is privacy settings. So make sure that they would decipher and distinguish what information that needs to be shared to everyone. And number two, define their philosophy. making sure that their purpose for using the platform is properly defined. In that way, they can properly strategize as well their actions, what to share, what not to share, who to connect with, and so forth.
What does this law direct your schools to do? Schools should prohibit bullying.
Well, the adults really need to be involved, the adults that belong to the government, the adults that belong to the families, the adults that interact with children and young people in the spaces that they usually navigate. So in schools, in communities, in organizations, we all have to understand, this vast cyber terrain, because this is already what is becoming to be the norm.
No one deserves to be treated cruelly, so we should fight against cyberbullying.
Or we are still in the process of making our policies, especially the child protection.
Ma-share na ko sa akong fellow schoolmates, classmates, friends, or even my families what I learned on this youth conference, because most of the manggod na dili na siya ma-share sa iyang mga parents because afraid of rejection.
What I plan to do as an advocate against cyberbullying is I will start with my school. I will tell my schoolmates when I come back that cyberbullying isn't a small thing anymore. Cyberbullying now is already a big thing. It could also be a crime already. So we should be aware of its effects. It has disadvantages too. And technology, we should also use technology in the right way. We should know its good side and the bad side.